So the next thing we'll do is take all of the drawers out. Okay? Make sure we don't scratch them. Make sure you remember the orders that they put in, because the countertops are going to have to go in, and we're going to have to drill through these corners, through these little plastic things right here, up into the countertops. Remember, we're going to be just touching on this right here. So, what did we do, or what did we get for the countertops? Well, let me show you. I went and got this board right here. This is actually 3/4 inch flooring, and you can see on the top there, there's the groove. And I'll show you on the bottom of this one here. I hope you can see it there. It's going to be tough. There's the tongue. So what I did was I had the store cut this board in half, so they're two 24-inch boards. And then we went and got some 1/2 inch backer board to put the tile down on it. And then there's the tile that we got. We got these boxes of marble that we're going to be putting on top of it. So what we have to do is cut the board first to get it put on this countertop. But what length are we going to do? What are we going to do with it? That's going to be the important part. If I find a tape measure. There we go. So, counters are always 24 inches right to this front edge. But you always have to remember, a countertop is going to come over, and it's nice to have the edge of it even or a little bit past the drawers. That way if something drips, it's not going to hit right on the front of the drawer. It's not going to hit on this shelf right here, or on this door. So hopefully a little bit more. You look at this right here, this is about 1 inch. So we need something about 25 inches. Now my backer board is a 1/2 inch thick, and the tile that we're going to put on, take and put another piece of marble on the front, and then this one here is either going to ride under the other one, or they're going to come up against each other, and then I'm going to put the grout at an angle. This tile here is 3/8 of an inch thick. Backer board's 1/2 inch thick. The mortar that I put underneath is going to be about 1/8 inch thick. So that between the tile and the backer board and the mortar, that's going to give us about 1 inch. And this right here is about 7/8 of an inch. Okay, so I had to put an extra board in here because the counter is going to come across here a bit. We're ready to go. I found these sheetrock screws right here. These are 1.25 inches right here. I don't like them because they're Phillips, but that's okay. So these are actually going to come through these holes right here, and they'll meet and they'll go right into this board that we lay on top. So I've already put the screws in the cabinets. Oh, actually I put those down there. So let me put them right here, because we're going to have to screw into the bottom of the board. But because these rails are in the way, I put on a couple of extensions on the gun, because coming from underneath, you want to be as straight as possible. So I'll be able to avoid those rails. Just going to leave the gun right in there. Be careful, because this gun has these hooks on it. You don't want to scratch anything, so just be a little careful. Okay, so drop in the caulk. Remember I said most people use silicone for this. I'm going to use the subfloor adhesive.
Just come into my life and sweep me off my feet. You think you can beat those pretty little eyes and I'll be lost of sleep. You think you can smile till you're head at 45 and I won't be on my knees. Well, you're right, absolutely right, and now I'm floating on air. So please, somebody from the crowd, clear my fall. Somebody else timber, I'm falling for you, and I've hit the floor. I just don't know what to do. You went and cut me down like a tree, and I went and thundered beneath your feet. And now that you've cut me down, you are my only timber. I tried to avoid you, but I've never felt this way before. I've been hurt so many times, but I just don't care anymore. You came to my life, swept me off my feet, left me lost of sleep, and now I'm on my knees. Now all I can dream about and think about is you. Somebody else ever, I'm falling for you, and now when they hit the floor, and I just don't know what to do. You went and cut me down like a tree, and I went and thundered beneath your feet. And now that you cut me down like a tree, you are my only timber. The way that your perfume smells tonight, the way that your hair falls in front of your eyes, the way that you look at me like it's alright. I just wanna hold you all through the night, yeah.
Okay, we got the countertops on. We've got to cut out the sink. This is the sink base right here. The dimensions on this sink is just a regular sink, 33 by 22 inches, 7 inches deep. It has this template on the back if you want to cut it out. What's so important about the template is if you set it down, it keeps it square. You don't want to cut your sink out and have the sink, skewed at an angle, one angle or the other. It's not going to go down because there's not a lot of room when you... okay, so one of the things you can do is do it by hand. And what I did was I could look right here at the middle of the sink, drew this line, came through with my square, drew a line out there, made sure I had a good line across there, and then I measured out my 33 inches, split the difference on the two, and made sure that this center line was square here, and then I did 2 square lines around here, and then I measured it all out. Now basically I used my square for every single one of these lines. And then I took the old cordless saw, and I cut through, and through, and I got these corners right here. And then I took a block of wood underneath, and I screwed 2 screws to it, and that block of wood is sitting underneath this cabinet, and it's going to stop this from falling. It's basically a block of wood like that. I put a block of wood like that, and I screwed to it. So this is going to sit here and float after I cut it out the rest of the way, but I don't have to worry about it falling. Now what I'm going to do is, this is a hole saw right here. Okay, all hole saws are the same. This is a spider hole saw. Let's see. And you can see this end comes out of it. That's what drills the hole through. And then this part right here, when I slip that off, comes off. This bit that's on here, it'll do steel. It'll also do wood, but it's not quite as big as I want. Because according to the pattern, I want a hole saw that's going to be about that big right there. This is 2 1/8 inches. Okay, I'd write on the back because they get worn out so much it's hard to see. So I'll put this on. The reason for this, it's got these 2 little pins right there that come through. The reason for those pins is, I'll show you, if I tighten this down all the way and then cut through the cabinet, I wouldn't be able to unscrew it. So the pins allow you to hold this still. It's got a lot of play in it. This right here allows me to pull out the center, and you'll see what I can do to get that loose. And then we'll get it on the drill. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect, But what we'll do is we'll just look straight down it, get the corner, make sure we're on the corner, right there. Whoop. That's because my drill isn't set to drill. Set the clutch. There we go. That's it. Now that little piece in the center there is stuck. So I push the button, flip the drill bit out, either knock that piece out or get it out the side with a screwdriver. And now what we've done is, see the corner here, see this corner is almost through all the way. Probably take my Sawzall and just chip that out a little bit right there. Okay? And then you'll see we'll do the same for the other 4 corners. And that's it. Then this piece of wood will come out. We'll have a sink base ready to go. Okay, so we've got all of the board down, the flooring down, put a couple of screws in the middle of some of these cabinets right here and right here. We don't have to worry about this front edge here because that's going to be covered up when we put the front part on it. Now this board right here is going to be the next layer that we put on it. This is the HardieBacker, and this is going to be put down underneath the tile. It's going to have mortar underneath it. Now all we've done was mark the board to get it cut. So let me show you how we did that. So the one thing I wanted to do was, this is an L-shaped countertop, and there's a seam right here where this board comes in. So I'm trying to make this overlap a little bit on top of that to make it a nice smoother transition. And then I'll put another Hardie board right on top of this counter right here, and that'll be a nice flat transition. Not going to go ahead and screw this down yet. What I want to do is, after we put the mortar down, we're just going to go ahead and set it on top of all of this and let the mortar dry, and then I'll put the screws in it. That way I'm assured that it's flat. I'd hate to put the mortar underneath it and then put the screws down in it, and what that'll do is it'll take the contour of the board underneath, and I already know this board has just a little bit of bow in it, and I don't like that, so this will make it a lot flatter. So came along underneath this thing, drew a line straight across, straight in, went underneath it, and I marked where the kitchen sink was, the cutout in the kitchen sink, and we ended up with lines all in it. I'm going to flip it over, cut that tab off, cut out the kitchen sink, and it'll be ready to go. And I forgot to mention about the board placement for this Hardie board right here is I put it 24 inches from the edge. I just laid my level down up there. That way, when I come across with another piece, it'll be a nice even number. And that 24 inches got it pretty well centered up on the sink and that edge right there, so it took care of everything I needed.
Bit and pad up on stage, they haven't started yet, but I can hear the footsteps. The drummer clicks his sticks and lays down a beat with a kick, and everyone's moving, everyone's grooving. She hasn't said a word yet, but wait till she does, it'll take your breath away. She's singing like an angel, singing God's prayer. She'll get the melody stuck inside of your head. She's gonna steal your heart, and you'll never get it back. She sings like an angel, and she looks like one too. Eyes meet up on stage, and time slows, then she starts to glow. She sings a lullaby and everyone cries. When she sings rock, everyone parties all night. She can steal your heart with one word, she can steal your soul with the whole sentence. She sings like an angel, singing God's prayer. She'll get the melody stuck inside of your head. She's gonna steal your heart, you'll never get it back. She sings like an angel. looks like one too. He looks like one too. Seems like an angel singing God's prayer. She'll get that melody stuck inside of your head. She's gonna steal your heart, you'll never get it back. She sings like an angel. She sings like an angel, singing God's prayer. She'll get the melody stuck inside of your head. She's gonna steal your heart, you'll never get it back. She sings like an angel, and she looks like one too. She looks like one too. She looks like one too.
Okay, Wiley, do something.
Lay. Up.